The lawyer stopped reading my father's will halfway through and looked directly at my family. Then he said 6 words that changed everything. Your father wanted you to know the truth. Everyone in the room turned toward me. My brother Ethan smiled because he thought he already knew what was coming. He leaned back in his chair and whispered, "This is the part where Dad finally admits who deserves everything." He was wrong. Because my father's final will was never about money. It was about exposing the person who betrayed him. My name is Maya Linwood, and for years, I believed my family understood the sacrifices I made for them. I was wrong. My father, Thomas Linwood, was the kind of man who believed actions mattered more than words. He built his small business from a broken garage into a successful company through decades of hard work. He taught me that wealth was temporary, but character was permanent. My brother Ethan saw things differently. To him, success was about status, control, and being the person everyone admired. Growing up, we were completely different. I spent my weekends helping my father organize his business records, visiting elderly neighbors with him, and taking care of our home after my mother passed away. Ethan wanted a different life. He wanted luxury, recognition, and everything that came with my father's success. But my father always believed both of his children had equal opportunities. Until the day he discovered the truth. 6 months before my father's death, he called me late one evening. His voice sounded tired. "Maya, I need you to promise me something." I asked him what was wrong. He paused. "If something happens to me, don't fight for what is yours. Fight for what is right." At the time, I didn't understand. I thought he was just worried about his health. I didn't know he had already discovered what Ethan had done. After my father's funeral, the entire family gathered at the attorney's office for the will reading. Ethan arrived wearing an expensive suit and carrying himself like the future owner of everything. His wife, Victoria, sat beside him smiling. They had already started discussing renovations for my father's house. They were so confident that they never considered they might be wrong. The lawyer began reading. My father leaves his personal belongings, properties, and financial assets according to the following instructions. Then he stopped. Everyone looked up. The lawyer continued. Before any inheritance is distributed, one person must publicly answer for the damage they caused. The room became silent. Ethan laughed. "Is this some kind of joke?" The lawyer did not smile. "No, Ethan. Your father was very serious." Then he placed a folder on the table. Inside were bank records, emails, business documents. My heart started beating faster, because I recognized the company name. It was my father's company. The documents showed that Ethan had secretly created fake invoices and transferred company money into accounts connected to him and his wife. For years, he had been stealing small amounts, believing nobody would notice. But my father noticed everything. The lawyer explained that my father had spent his final months collecting evidence. He knew Ethan would deny everything. And he was right. Ethan immediately stood up. "This is ridiculous. Dad was sick. Someone must have manipulated him." The lawyer looked at him calmly. "Your father expected you to say that." Then he opened another envelope. Inside was a handwritten letter. My father's handwriting. My hands trembled as I read it. "My son, I spent my life giving you opportunities. But every opportunity you received became something you believed you deserved." Ethan's face changed. For the first time, he looked afraid. The letter continued. "I do not want revenge against you. I want you to understand that losing trust is far worse than losing money." Then came the part nobody expected. My father had not removed Ethan from the will. Instead, he had placed his inheritance into a protected account that would only be released after Ethan completed one condition. He had to personally repay every dollar he stole. Until then, he would receive nothing. The room erupted. Victoria started crying. She blamed Ethan for ruining their future. Ethan blamed me. You knew about this, didn't you? I shook my head. No. Dad trusted the truth more than he trusted anyone's promises. But Ethan was not finished. He turned toward the lawyer. What about Maya? What does she get? The lawyer looked at me. Your father left Maya the family home, the controlling shares of the company, and something more valuable. He handed me a small envelope. Inside was a letter. My father wrote, Maya, I know you never wanted power. That is exactly why I know you are the right person to protect what I built. I cried reading those words, not because I had inherited more than my brother, but because my father finally proved something I had always believed. He saw me. He knew every sacrifice, every late night, every moment I chose family over myself. The investigation into Ethan's actions continued. He eventually admitted what he had done and agreed to repay the money. But the relationship between us was never the same. Some betrayals leave scars that money cannot heal. Years later, I still keep my father's final letter in my office. Whenever business becomes difficult, I read his words again. You don't protect a legacy by protecting a name. You protect it by protecting the values behind it. My father's will was supposed to divide our family. Instead, it revealed who we truly were. Ethan inherited a lesson. I inherited responsibility. And I learned something I will never forget. A will does not only reveal what someone leaves behind. It reveals what they believed about the people standing in front of them. And sometimes, the greatest final gift a person can give is not money. It is the truth.